Good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice that the ES continues to trend in a very clear uptrending channel. It continues to honor the boundaries of this channel, continues to push higher. Just yesterday we were inside a very narrow 4-day range, and price started to push higher out of that range and held. The ES held throughout the day and continues to push higher now to a new high. Ever since the mid-March low here, we have had a new high now from that low. Just a tremendous turnaround from that day. And again, we have a push above 2,900 now, a very important key level we've talked about before. There's some overhead key levels of resistance, but this market continues to show signs of strength. One key level would be in this zone here between 2,900 and 2,950, and we're entering that zone now. And again, after a cycle high, perhaps we get another pullback, but right now we are in the midst of an uptrending market as this thing pushes higher. And again, on an intraday basis, keep an eye on 28.95s. Below that could open up a bit of a return back toward VWAP, but right now everything trending up, and pullbacks considered buying opportunities until proven otherwise. Taking a look at the NQ, you'll see that the NQ also continues to push higher. This one also had a narrow 4-day range and is broken out of it yesterday. This one was not as strong as the ES. It was dragging behind the ES, but the ES was pushing higher, and this one lifted as well, closing right at the mid and pushing higher today. You have 9,000 just ahead. That's the previous month's high price. So in March here, price rallied into that impulse sell-off midpoint right here and then sold off tremendously to that low. And since then, we've come all the way back and are nearly at that previous month's high. So this is going to be a very important zone here. We came just shy last week, and I mentioned when that happens, it usually comes back to regain that high and hit that blue line here. So we will see if we can get that line here today at 9K, and at that zone again will be a very important zone to watch for signs of a higher high rejection, which could lead us right back to recent support. Otherwise, we push through, we start to work back toward all-time highs. So this thing has bounced back tremendously. Again, keep an eye on the previous month's high for a test. Taking a look at crude oil. Again, crude oil very, very weak, down another 8.5% here today. Again, this market is very, very weak. We talked about this box here. Let's draw it up. That had developed, and I mentioned that this little bounce here could take us right down to the 18-19 zone, but that might be as high as we go. And you know, again, that was the spot where bears came in to defend. Again, the market forces that dragged the last contract to zero and beyond are still at play right now, and could very well see the same outcome for this market as well down the road. Below 10 opens up as low as 0. So right now this is the key level to watch, is $10 here early in the day. All right, let's take a look at gold now. This one's up about 0.25%. And for the most part, gold has been very, very strong. Lately here, it hasn't really burst to highs. After this really strong high, we mentioned it might be a pullback to 17 time. And if it gets to 17, it could be a buy back to 18. And so all of that has played out pretty nicely here. But the first push here, obviously a little bit of a lower high. Now we're getting a failed low here with another tail developing. That could provide the next explosive move that gets us through these two highs and into 1800 and that 1831 target we've been talking about. So right now, got to be able to continue to hold above that 1720 level. 1720 to 1725, very important. A failure to hold that zone could lead this thing right back down. But right now, early in the day, again, showing a little bit of signs of support here and continuing to show higher lows within this uptrending market. Again, if this market can continue to hold 1720, 1725 overall, a bounce toward 1800 could be ahead. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.